Hi, this is Elliot Eisenberg of Graphs and Laughs here to catch you up to date on the latest in residential sales data for Hillsborough County. In Hillsborough County, single-fam home prices, median home prices increased 6.5%, and on the multi-fam side, they increased about 10.5%, which was better than any other county and any other type of house, single-fam or multi-fam. In terms of sales activity, it declined for both single and multi-fam, down 8.5% and 14.1% respectively. Sales price as a function of list price in both counties was 98.2, down from what it was a year ago. Pending sales were down 23% in the single fam side and 6.2% on multifam. In terms of active inventory, it's down a large 22.3% on the single fam side, but up a pleasant 8.6% on the multifam side. In Pasco County, single-fam home prices went up a drop less than 1%, and on the multi-fam side, they fell by less than 1%, so they were essentially flat. In terms of sales activity, it declined 6% on the single-fam side, but went up almost 23% on the multi-fam side. That was the best across all three counties and both types of properties. In terms of sales price as a function of list price, on the single fam side, it was 98.5. That was the highest, although it was down from what it was last year, and it was 98% on the multifam side. In terms of pending sales activity, down 16.6% on the single fam side, and up a pleasant 7.7% on the multifam side. That was the best performance across both types of property types in all three counties. Lastly, active inventory fell 15.1% on the single fam side and went up a strong 14.9% on the multi-fam side. In Pinellas County, single-fam home prices went up about 10%, and they went up about 5% on the multi-fam side. Nice, strong numbers, similar to Hillsborough County. When we look at sales activity, it was down 16% on the single-fam side and pretty much dead flat on the multi-fam side. Sales prices were 98.1% of list price for single-fam home prices in Pinellas and a weak 96.3% on the multi-fam side. Pending sales activity was down 24.5% year over year and up a pleasant 3% on the multifam side. Last but not least, inventories declined 13.8% on the single fam side, but were up a strong almost 51% on the multifam side. That was the best for both types of properties across all three counties. And when you're inventory starved, that's very good news. Turning our attention to the national economy, in Q2, GDP grew about 2%, and in Q3, GDP looks to grow a similar 2%. That's pretty strong, too strong as far as the Fed is concerned. As a result of that, the data is not coming in as the Fed would like. Unemployment is not going up that much, wage pressures remain strong, and inflation remains relatively strong. Moreover, now you can add higher energy costs to the mix. Energy prices are rising because China, while growing slower than we thought, isn't growing that slowly. And there's optimism that the U.S. may have a soft landing and avoid a recession entirely. And that's captivated the imagination of traders. On top of that, on Wall Street, on top of that, Russia and Saudi Arabia have cut oil production. Whatever it is, the combination of all these factors that has caused inflation not to fall that fast, energy prices that are going to actually raise inflation going forward, unemployment not coming down, wage pressures remaining strong, has given the Fed fits. And as a result of that, in their last meeting, the Fed made two very important things. They made comments very clear. The first one is we may raise rates one more time before the year's out. A lot of people, traders and so on, had hoped that the Fed would start to cut rates, that rates had peaked and then it'd begin to cut rates. Now they're saying, no, we may actually think of raising one more time. Moreover, the Fed said whether we raise rates one more time or not, we're going to keep rates at these elevated levels for quite some time. So the hope that the Fed had finished raising rates and would soon pivot, if you will, and start to cut rates is completely out the window. As a result of that, interest rates on all kinds of treasuries, 1 year, 2 years, 5, 10, 20, and so on. Treasury rates all went up. Similarly, mortgage rates went up. As a result of that, mortgage rates are now at or near their recent cyclical highs. And the hope that interest rate relief was right around the corner is clearly not going to happen. My biggest fear remains the possibility of a recession. And the likelihood of a recession increases the longer the Fed keeps rates at these elevated levels. That said, the U.S. economy remains quite resilient for a whole bunch of reasons, many of them one-offs, but nonetheless remains resilient. And as a result of that, the date of any future recession keeps getting pushed further into the future. And that's good news.